Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Jessica and I live in Kyoto, Japan, teaching English to elementary and junior high. I got here through the JET program and I want to share with you guys my lessons because before I got here I was really wondering, how do you have like lessons or activities, or like what do teachers do, kind of thing. So anyways, I want to show you guys what I do. Now, I'm going to take you back to my very first class, and this is my introduction. So this was a few months ago, so I'm going to try and remember it as best as I can. I'm basically going to pretend that you guys are my students and I'm at the front of the class. So every classroom comes with a TV like this. Now, keep in mind, this same slideshow I use for elementary and junior high is just the way that I talk about the images and slides and everything are different. So without further ado, let's begin. So pretend this is your first day seeing me. I'm a brand new ALT teacher, and this is my introduction lesson, which takes the whole 45 to 50-minute time slot. Okay, so anyways, I have my items set aside, which you will see. Alright, so let's begin. So, hello everyone, my name is Jessica Rowe. I come from, oh, that's a secret. You will see. So, you can call me Miss Rowe, circle in Japan means okay, or Miss Jessica. A lot of the students now call me Jessica Sensei because it's easier for them to remember. So I would probably change my slideshow. Okay, do you know where I am from? Am I from Canada? Am I from Ukraine? Am I from Germany? Am I from Russia? Where am I from? So in some classes I would get the students to guess what the flags are, but just for now I'll be like, okay, where am I from? And then what I would do is I'd point to Canada. I'd be like, okay, raise your hand if you think I'm from Canada. And again, for raise your hand if you think I'm from Ukraine. So same for all of them. And then I'd be like, okay, let's see. So I get all their attention back. And then, oh, I'm not from Germany. I'm not from Ukraine. I'm not from Russia. I'm from Canada. And at this point, the kids who guessed Canada are like, freaking out. They're happy. So anyways, on to the next slide. I am from Canada. And look, our flags are red and white. Red and white, the same. We are the same. And then they kind of giggle at that. And then I show them a world map. So this is Canada. This is Canada. This is Japan. Canada is big. Japan is small. A lot of kids love that joke, and teachers too. Okay, so this is what I love about Canada. Maybe you know, maybe you know. So I don't tell them right away what it is. And this is actually a video. It doesn't work right now, but pretend that this is a video of the Aurora Borealis. So it's over, the Aurora Borealis is over the Rocky Mountains, and I found the video on YouTube, and I downloaded that video using a Mac app or program called Clip Grab. But anyways, okay, so we'll continue. So anyways, the kids see the aurora and they're like, whoa, that's amazing, right? So you're engaging them further. So then I asked students, this is more for junior high, I would say, okay, where in Canada am I from? Where am I from? So I split the map into two halves. This is how I would say, am I from West Canada? Am I from East Canada? Right? And again, get the students to raise their hand. What do you think? And then I'd show the answer. Ah, I am from here. Alberta, and I get students to repeat. Please say Alberta. So repeat after me. Alberta, 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 right? So just some interaction. And this is a tourism video that I found for Alberta, and it's basically the Blackfoot Cree people, maybe just Blackfoot, I apologize, I'm really not sure. I think it's Blackfoot people dancing in the prairies, and they're in their traditional costumes, and they're with the traditional sounds. So at this point, I would talk to the students about First Nations. So I get them to repeat First Nations, First Nations. And then, so we watch this video, and as that's going on, this is a handmade bag that I got from a First Nation Métis Inuit shop, so an Aboriginal shop. It's made by locals in the community, which I'd like to support them. So I passed this bag around, but before I passed it around, I would say, okay, so this bag was made by First Nations. This bag made by First Nations. And then I would say, you can hear the sound, you can see the beautiful beads, you can feel the skin, you can smell. So just kind of exaggerates emotions. I'm not really doing it right now, but basically get them to know, like, you can connect to all the senses using this bag, right? It's like a jingle dress bag. So anyways, I passed this around, and the kids, they would smell it because it smells like campfire. It smells like Alberta. And it still smells like that even after months of putting it in storage and safekeeping. So anyways, the kids really love touching it and feeling it. Even the elementary students, they were quite gentle with it. Like, I let them know this is very special, so be gentle. So anyways, they passed that around to all the students. And then I say, okay, in Alberta, people can ride a horse. Horse. This is horse, right? So connecting simple vocabulary. And then I say, this is me. This is me. And students are like, whoa. So then I say, okay, this is Canada, this is Alberta, this is Calgary, my home, my city, Calgary. So then I pull this out and I say, this is Calgary. Calgary is a beautiful city. And then I talk about, like, what Calgary has. So I say Calgary has the Saddle Dome. Inside there is ice hockey, singing, concerts, and here is the Calgary Tower, like Kyoto Tower. So connecting my city with their city. So they kind of have a better understanding, right? So anyways, I talk about that. And then I show them this picture of Calgary is beside the Rocky Mountains. And this is when I tell students, you can ski at the Rocky Mountains, right? So just kind of showing them that. And then I say, in Calgary, we have a lot of snow. Many snow. So even using broken English so that they would understand, right? So that's one thing I've learned is if I say many, they know it means a lot. So anyways, I show them this picture of me in the snow. I say, oh, I love snow. Snow is very cool. And then I show them this, and they know Rirakuma is a very famous character in Japan. So I say, oh, I love Rirakuma. When it snows, Rirakuma keeps me warm. So, again, playing with the sentences. It's like, it's very cold. Oh, before this slide, so during this slide, I would write on the board minus 36 degrees Celsius, and I'd say to the students, this is how cold Calgary gets sometimes. So just showing them like it can get very, very cold, right? And when I wrote those numbers down on the board, a lot of the students were like, whoa, that's cold. So yeah, it gets them interested a little bit more. And then I make it personal. So I started big and I'm bringing it down small. So I say, this is my family. This is my mom. This is my dad. And this is me. And then I point to the graduation hat and I say, this is when I graduated from art college. Art college. And this is usually the teacher would step in and then they would ask the students, he or she would ask, so what college, like in Japanese, what college did she go to? Just to like comprehension check with the students. And sometimes they would get it. They would say, oh, art. Because when I said I went to art college, I would say like drawing, painting, pictures, photography, and that stuff, right? So anyways, then I ask, how many brothers or sisters do I have? How many? Now, in reality, I actually have 2 sisters and 1 brother. My 1 sister and 1 brother is stepbrother and stepsister, but in Japan, that might be a little bit difficult to explain, so I kept it simple and I just said that I have 1 sister. So anyways, okay, so before this, I would say, okay, how many brothers, and point to the boy, how many brothers do you think I have? So then this is where individual students would raise their hand and I would say, okay, how many? And they would say 3, 5, 10. So just give me random numbers. And then I'd say, okay, how many sisters do I have? And they would raise their hand and give me a number. And then I exposed the answers. I was like, I have 1 sister. And they're like, whoa. And then I show the picture of my sister Ashley. So this is us in Alberta. So again, connecting it to my home so they can see just how big and vast Canada is. And then I tell them that my sister is very shy, very shy. And they're like, oh. And then I talk about my husband. And as an English teacher, you don't have to talk about your husband or boyfriend or whatever, but I decided to. Because I feel like my husband is very, very special to me and I want to share him with the world. So I showed them our wedding picture and I had to explain to them that I am married, but I don't have a ring. And this is my husband. His name is Prince. So a lot of people were like, whoa, his name is Prince, right? And the teachers explained it to the kids. But anyway, so I showed the picture and then I said, I have 2 cats, Black Kitty and Gray Kitty. So in reality, Gray Kitty had actually passed away already, but it's much easier just to say that I have 2 cats and these are them. So anyways, I show them pictures of my kitties and I say that I love my cats. And I say that I love to take photos with my cats. So I love to take pictures with my kitties. Oh, I love, right? So just more acting, I guess you could say, like showing the emotions instead of just saying it. Okay, so again, I love my kitties. Black Kitty is bad, bad, evil kitty, rah-ha-ha-ha. Black Kitty, no good, right? So, Gray Kitty, happy, cute, cute, good cat. So again, using very simple English. Okay, and then I say, okay, sorry, before that, I say, Canada is very big, so everyone drives in Canada. I have 1 car in Canada. What color is my car? So then I bring this up and the kids are like, blah, 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 blah. Like for some reason this got them crazy excited. So I point to the red and I'm like, is my car red? Raise your hand. And then students would vote. So for all the colors they would vote and then I'd be like, okay, let's see. So what's really good about, or what's a good habit when you're teaching English is to use the same kind of English to reveal certain steps. So whenever I want them to repeat after me, I always say, repeat after me. And if I want them to raise their hand, raise your hand. So, and when I want to show the answer, I always say, let's see, let's see. So anyways, again, it's marking off the colors, and by the time when they find out it's green, they're freaking out, they're like having a good time, and then I show them a picture of my green car. And I tell them that this car is old car. Now no good. This car, bye-bye. But, I bring out these pictures, and I say, this is my dad's car. My dad's nice car. Very nice. And one student called it a banana car, and ever since then, I said in every class, this is my dad's banana car. And they just like, they love it. They start laughing and everything. So I show them the pictures of my dad's yellow car, which they really like because it's super sporty. And by then, the kids think that I'm like filthy rich, but I'm not, which is kind of funny. But anyways, I show them my dad's house because I'm currently in Canada living with my dad. So I show them like how big the houses are, how there's space between the houses, how we have a basement, there's a front yard, a backyard. So I explain all that. And then I say inside the house, this is the kitchen. And then I connect kitchen with food because here is, I think, our turkey dinner or something. This was a holiday. So then I say, this is my husband, this is me, and this is my dad. And we're in the kitchen. And then I say, food in Canada is so good, so good. My favorite food is poutine. Poutine. So I get them to repeat, and then I ask them, what's poutine? What do you think? So then I got students to, because they know this is fried potato, or french fries. They know this is cheese, but this, a lot of them thought it was like chocolate or something. So when I told them it was meat sauce, they were like, whoa! So it blew their mind. I told them that poutine is so good. At McDonald's, you can buy poutine because they have McDonald's here in Japan. It's something that they can connect with. So I show them this picture of poutine that's not from McDonald's, but I told them it was. Because McDonald's actually does have poutine in Canada. And so I show them this, and then they're like, oh, I want to try. And then I say, okay, in Canada, usually we eat this for breakfast. So before I reveal what it is, I ask them what this is because they don't have chocolate milk here per se, like not like in Canada. So a lot of them thought it was cocoa, which I think is like a hot chocolate or something like that. So anyways, I reveal, you know, chocolate milk, strawberries, toast, eggs, bacon, and when I name these off, the elementary kids love to repeat. So that's kind of a good exercise for them to get to know my English and become comfortable with me. So, okay, next question. In Canada, what is my job? What is my job? In Japan, I'm a teacher. In Canada, what am I? So I say cleaning, scientist, or mail delivery. What is my job? So then I get the kids to vote again, and surprisingly they thought I delivered mail, but I was actually a cleaner. So that was kind of fun. And then I show them a picture of me at my job. So this is me cleaning. So in Canada, I clean. And I love to clean. So yeah, I usually love to help the kids clean during cleaning time. It's really fun. Okay, so now I'm getting into my hobbies. I say, okay, so in Canada, I make music. This is my band. These are my friends, and this is me. And when they see this professional photo, they like, their jaws drop and they're like, whoa, are you famous? Like, I got those questions, and like, I didn't let them know our band kind of dismantled, and we're not a band anymore. But I wanted them to see that, like, this is my history in Canada, right? So we had Kelly Hofer, who's this incredible photographer, take our photograph, and it looks so professional. So I show it to the kids, and they think that we're like the hot shit. So I have a really fun time showing them this. And I like to explain. So this is Vanessa. Vanessa played bass, right? This is Trent. Trent played guitar. This is Joe. Joe played guitar and sing. This is Gladzy. She is small girl, but really good drummer. And this is me, Jessica. I play keyboard. So just explain it like that, right? Okay, so then I show a picture of me and Joe making music or thinking about music. And then I tell them my other hobbies. So I like to sew. I love to sew. Let's see. I love to sew cosplay, costumes. Do you know? Do you know? And some students would know Baymax, because that in Japan it's called Baymax. In North America it's called Big Hero 6. So I show them a picture of me in cosplay, and then this one they think is like hilarious. They think it's so weird, and I love it because they don't know this character, because I don't think the Guardians, I forgot what it's called. It didn't really, I guess, go big here in Japan or something. But anyways, so I show them this costume, and they're like, "Oh, that's so weird. She's so weird." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I show them this one, which is a hamburger hot wing obi yukata. So I show them that I sewed this yukata. It is cheeseburgers and hot wings. And they start laughing. They love it. And then I show them this one, and I say, I made this kimono. This is shibori, shibori technique. I love shibori, and some students, their families do shibori, so they totally connected with that, right? So anyways, okay, and then I asked the kids, this is near the end, I ask, I love Japanese food, but what do I love? What do I love? Or something along those lines. And then I get the kids to guess, right? So eventually I kind of come out and I'm like, I love all Japanese food. Woo, I tricked you, right? And the kids kind of enjoy that. So, okay, so here we are at a big event that happens in my city. And I wanted to save this for last, specifically because this is where I get the most interactive with the students. So the first thing I do, I always keep this wrapped up until this point. So this is actually a poster from that event. So this is the Chuck Wagon Racing from the Calgary Stampede. So anyways, I show the kids this slide and I say, this is the Calgary Stampede. At the Stampede, we have rodeo, and Chuck Wagon Racing. So then the teacher usually puts this up on the board. Anyways, so then I say, the Calgary Stampede is like a big festival. Matsuri or something. Like, the teacher would help me kind of explain festival because I don't really know Japanese. So I show them, we have rides, we have games, we have food, and rodeo and chuck wagon. And then I show a picture of me and my husband playing at the rodeo. And this slide, it's funny because I showed this to them months ago and they still do this every day. So I say, in Calgary, when we are happy, we are celebrating, celebrating, we say, Yahoo! Yahoo! But not like this, not like this. We say, Yahoo! Right? And I scream it. And by that time, any kids that were kind of like low on energy, they kind of perk up and they're like, whoa, right? So then I say, okay, repeat after me. Yahoo! And then I got the whole class and they'd all scream, Yahoo! Then I would pull this out and I would say, okay, this is a very special hat from the Calgary Stampede. This hat is, see, very special. There's a pin, so I show them the pin, and this hat is very strong. And then at that point, oh, and I show them that there's like a message inside here. So then I say, okay, so you can be cowboy, cowgirl. Let's try. So then I give the hat to the first student and I say, you can put on. Yeah. So all the students put this hat on, and each student had an interesting reaction from the rest of the class. So I think in a way it kind of brought the students together in a way, because there were some students where they would put it on and everyone in the class just like, whoa, Calgary, that's so cool, wow, like they just get totally into it, right? And because I banged on it, a lot of the students in the class banged on it too, because they wanted to see just how strong it was. So anyways, after everyone wears this, I always ask the teacher, I'm like, okay, let's see this cowboy, or let's see this cowgirl. So then the teacher puts it on and the whole class is just losing their shit. They're loving it, right? So anyways, after that, I get this return and I say, okay, now do you have questions for me? Any questions? So this is like Q&A, no more slideshow. The slideshow's over, and at this point the students are asking me questions. I'm replying. A lot of them asked, oh, how old are you? And I don't have a problem sharing that information, so I told them. And oh, what's interesting about how they count here is they go, say it's 27, they go 27. They go like that. They don't go 27. It's 27. So they put their second hand on the palm. But anyways, okay. So this was my first lesson, my introduction, and not like how I did it now. I would have definitely simplified the English, used much less words, try to make it engaging, so I would act out and draw things on the board and that kind of stuff. And yeah, so thank you for watching. This is my introduction, very first lesson that I'd show the students. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, and I will see you next time. Bye!